let's start with Shohei. Obviously, ahead of the game, you talked about there are going to be times when you push different starters, but Shohei not likely. But for him to get to 80 pitches, was that a way of kind of pushing him to hope see him get through 5?
It was. I thought there was still more in there from Shohei to get through that 5th inning. Obviously Neto did a good job with that slider, that 2-strike slider for the double. I was just trying to get him through Neto to get to Banda to get him out of the inning. But to start that 5th inning, I felt that he was throwing the ball well enough to get through it.
Is it starting to feel like just you guys, of course, have had opportunities. It honestly kind of felt like y'all are going to take this win, unfortunately falling short there in the end. But is it feeling like is that feeling starting to compound and kind of building a little bit more frustration when you guys were so close to picking up the wins?
Yeah, this was tough, obviously, because of the result. But I thought tonight I liked the way we played. I thought the at-bats were really good. We get robbed on a great play from the Pajes ball over the wall. So I thought that across the board, I thought we did a good job competing. And, even in that 8th inning right there, that 8th inning, the ball off of Adele's bat was right at Miggy, but it kicks off of Edgardo, and that's baseball. And it just seems like right now that's the way things are going, and that's part of it. But, tonight in a vacuum, I thought we played well.
Could you have envisioned 5 weeks ago when you guys were 9 games up in the division being in this kind of spot now where you have even a little bit of ground to make up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're where we're at. We put ourselves in this spot. But no, I wouldn't have expected us to be in 2nd place right now.
Do you think Hoppy was timed up for Enriquez's fastball there in the 8th inning?
Yeah, he was dead red, and he just timed it up, and I didn't see it yet, but it seemed like he was middle. But yeah, he was locked in on the heater. Yeah.
Had you gotten through the 8th, who would have had the 9th?
It would have probably been Diaz. I think that just kind of given Blake's usage, just kind of really didn't want to pitch Edgardo either with the up-down yesterday, but it's kind of where we're at right there. And I felt that the way Robo was throwing the baseball, he was the most rested guy, and I just didn't. And I know he'd love to have the 2 walks back to start the inning, but at that point in time, I got to make a decision.
When your bullpen's going through a stretch like this, where even when you guys are leading late in games, and there's kind of this feeling of like it could happen again, how do you kind of break out of that kind of mood? I guess where
it's something that we're not really accustomed to be quite honest. I just think it's one of those kind of funks we're in, where there's some bad walks in there, maybe some sequencing, things like that. But at the end of the day, we're just not kind of finishing games when we have an opportunity. Or, on the offensive side, being able to tack on and give ourselves a little bit more breathing room. You have a 5-4 lead, and obviously, Kid makes a nice play out in center field, but, 3 would have been a lot nicer. But that's baseball. But as far as the pen, these are the guys we have. And I think for me, it's just kind of trying to put guys in the best position, but also being mindful of how much they've been used. So it sort of goes back to the starter and trying to push them if I get an opportunity to do so.
A stretch like this, do you kind of have to be to kind of keep track of the mood of the team and the vibe in the clubhouse? I mean, it's a veteran team, you want a championship, but stuff goes wrong during the course of the season. How do you?
Well, I think the thing that I appreciate about this club is there's no finger pointing, there's accountability, and I think that we do a good job of looking at ourselves and saying, hey, what can I do better? And we can all be better. So it's not a lack of care, and I talk about preparation all the time. So I know it's not complacency. I mean, our guys are playing their tails off, and it's going to turn. But I know Max said it yesterday, I've said it before, you can't feel sorry for yourself. And that's something that I don't expect from our guys. And we've got a big series coming up, and those guys are playing great baseball. It's going to be, crazy at Chavez Ravine, and our guys will be ready.
Can a team care too much?
I don't think so. I think that, there's a balance of trying too hard, pressing, that kind of thing. But I think that with the guys that we have in the room, I don't think that caring too much is a problem with our guys. I think that that's a good thing.
What's the wine?
It's a gift. Haven't opened it yet.
Do you know what it is?
No. I'm not going to open it right now, Dylan.
Are you gonna drink it all tonight?
Possibly.
Does it feel like the off day's coming in the right time just for a mental, physical reset for the guys then to take on the big series with the Padres?
I think more physical. I think, getting Blake reset, getting Kasperius, getting Vesia, getting Dreyer, getting Trinan. I think for me I'd like to get back to playing. I think most of the guys would, but I think if you look at kind of how to win a baseball game, getting our pen back in line to support Clayton on Friday is probably the best, way to do it.